How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling I just went 90 minutes with Dave. Just got done. So here we go. It's Wrestling Observer Live. I feel like I'm just extending the show that I just did. How you doing, everybody? We got a lot to get into here today. A lot to talk about. Last night was Dynamite. And it is the go-home show for this coming weekend's AEW Full Gear. We got Full Gear on Saturday night. There's a tailgate brawl as well. And we'll give you the full lineup for the show. We'll talk about last night's Dynamite. Thought Dynamite was good for the usual Dynamite time period, but that last hour, brutal. Brutal. I wouldn't say, it wasn't like bad, but I mean, the crowd was dead. And I think we've learned over the last well over a decade, 3 hours is too long for a television show. We learned it from Raw. We've learned it from SmackDown. We're learning it from Dynamite. And it wasn't just 3 hours. It was 3 hours with an overrun because Tony just can't help himself. He just kept going. So we'll talk about that show here tonight. There's a lot to add to the pay-per-view coming up on Saturday. And we've got a lot of news as well. We've got the WWE. It's basically, they're not going to be in the country for a good part of the early part of 2026. And they've added some dates. We'll tell you what's going on there, all leading to the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. We got notes on the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament, the best of the Super Junior. Actually, it's not the Super Juniors. We now got the Tag League. We just finished the Super Juniors. Now it's the Tag League, and hopefully it will be better than the Super Junior Tag League because that wasn't very good. So we'll get into the update on that from Jeremy Finestone. And a bunch of other news as well. Some ratings from SmackDown. We've got AAA coming up with a bunch of WWE wrestlers on it. New Japan's Fantastica Mania. Gail Kim going to GCW, believe it or not. And plenty more. I'm going to get on my game. And we'll be back in a moment with Lance, Wrestling Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review, but
he's got merch up on WWE shop.
He's going to make so much
He's got these
money.
kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
his face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face paint.
Oh, would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah, it looks,
he paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's he gets held upside down and they just dunk his head in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not wrestling, he wears the round silver spectacles.
Yes.
And
he
flicks his tongue constantly.
Yes.
As an iguana would. And Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, he sticks all four limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well, sometimes.
Already up on WWE shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AEW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all the silliness, Conan says, you know this Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lindsay Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps, and he stomps the puppet, and he grabs the puppet, and he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
Seething, and his eyes are breaking out, and he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet, and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. I liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Alive. Lance Storm is joining us here, and a lot to get into here today. During the break, I actually got some news, and that is regarding the speedball match with Shelton Benjamin last night. So if you watched the match, essentially what happened is they were doing this spot, and Shelton hit him with this big kick, and Speedball took this incredible bump, and Shelton covers him, and the ref counts 1, 2, and stops. And Speedball didn't kick out. He was just dead as a doornail. Fans started booing, and then Shelton lifted the guy up. They did like 2 more spots, and then he hit him with another kick. And this time the referee counted the pin. And so everybody was trying to figure out, well, what the heck happened? Whose fault was that? And as it turns out, everybody is fine. I don't want to say it wasn't anybody's fault, because obviously it's somebody's fault. But it's not as easy as it. So what essentially happened is the finish was going to be a super kick, okay? So Shelton ends up shooting him in or whatever, and he hits his kick, and Speedball just takes this incredible full flip bump, and it looks like he's dead. So Shelton decides, ain't gonna get better than that, and so Shelton calls the audible, this is the finish, okay? Apparently the ref didn't hear him, and so the ref stops the count because that wasn't actually supposed to be the finish. So you could say it's the referee's fault. You could say it's Shelton's fault. You can't say it's Speedball's fault. He just laid there like he was supposed to. So, anyway, that's what happened. And then
miscommunication.
It was a miscommunication, and then when the referee stopped, they just went on and did the actual finish. But no, he did not get concussed by the kick or anything like that. It was nothing. There was no injury involved. It was just Shelton thought a move looked really cool, and that they should just go to the finish right there, and the ref didn't hear him. So that's what happened in that match.
If you're close enough on time, I agree completely with Shelton. It's like,
and I think that's what it was. I think they had like 30 seconds left, maybe.
So if the next one's not going to look better, it's like, just stay down.
Yes, that's what happened. But the ref didn't know that he was going to stay down, and so that was what happened there. So this story is not good. This is just kind of came out yesterday. So, a couple of arrests have been made on murder charges following WWE developmental wrestler Kevin Nichols' recent death. He wrestled as Knuckles Madsen, and this was a decade ago. This is not an NXT wrestler who you would have seen on television lately. His last NXT match was a live show on December 5, 2013. But earlier this year, Knuckles Madsen passed away, and 2 months later, several months later actually, 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with his death. On November 17th, U.S. Marshal Service arrested Michael Hogue and Amanda Penny. Michael Hogue has been charged with first-degree murder. Amanda Penny has been charged as an accomplice to first-degree murder. They face firearm-related charges. Nichols' mother, Susan Kinderman, offered some additional insight. We still don't know exactly what happened. He got shot. Detectives have been pretty close-lipped on that, which is good. But we'd still like to know exactly what happened, who did what. There was some kind of an argument. Maybe there was texting going back and forth. I think they enticed Kevin to meet up with them. I was told by the detectives there was some kind of altercation. Shots were fired, Kevin was killed, and that is all we really know. According to prosecutor Josh Robinson, an argument transpired between the three, and Nickel, who was the Knuckles Madsen, he was shot. He did manage to gain control of the firearm, sought assistance nearby, but passed away. And he indicated that to rescuers that Hogue had shot him and that he had disarmed him, but then he ended up passing away due to the injuries. So Hogan Penny's next court date, January 5th, 2026. And that's the update on that. So, man, that's
a crazy story.
That is crazy. All the best to, of course, the family of Kevin Nickel. So WWE is doing a January 2026 tour of Europe. And they've now added another date, which is Tuesday, January 20th. And man, it's like one of those deals, we've been talking so long about how they need more house shows. You watch a Raw show and, Becky's defending the title against Maxine, and it's just like, Maxine's trying so hard, but she's had like 30 matches or whatever the number is. And they've gone from like no house shows to now it's swinging the complete other direction for the next 2 months, because they've got their multi-show holiday tour, which is in December, which is a bunch of house shows. And then they've got a 2026 tour, which is also a ton of house shows. So everybody's going to get a lot of work over the next 2 months. And they're basically starting January 8th in Germany. And they're going to be working the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. And then the Royal Rumble is in Riyadh. So it's all out of the country. And I mentioned a couple of days ago, I was talking to, it was actually somebody in WWE of all places, and not AEW. But, they were pointing out, we're like gone for this entire month. We're not in the country at all. Like AEW could have the run of the place, like anywhere they want to run. And AEW then announces they're doing another residency in like Arlington, Texas or something like that for all of these shows. And they were just kind of surprised that AEW didn't take better advantage of the fact that WWE is not even going to be running anywhere. So that's going to be the house show tour. They've got the holiday tour as well. So everybody's going to be getting a lot of practice, which is good.
Although it's going to be interesting. I don't know if you ever worked full-time, Brian. I don't imagine you did.
I wouldn't say full-time.
But there is when I first started, just working indies once a week or every couple weeks, and it's like you get a little bit sore after your match, and then you're fine for your next match. It's no big deal. But when I first went to Europe and worked full-time, you get sorer every day for like about 2 to 3 weeks. And then we used to call it the body callus, where after 2 to 3 weeks, everything stopped hurting because you just got used to it. But there is that first couple weeks of wrestling every day where everything hurts more and more every single day for a couple of weeks before you get past that. And I found it the same the other way. I go 10 days without working when I was working full-time, then everything started hurting again. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody's feeling after going once a week to all of a sudden a string of shows.
Yeah, I never worked full-time, obviously, but there was a period where I would do Friday and Saturday, and there would be 2 shows on Saturday. So Buddy and I would go down we would do like a show in Cloverdale Friday, and then we would go down to Oregon Saturday, and we would do an opener on one show and it probably wouldn't be the main event, but later on another show. So I'd have 3 shows in 2 days, and I think it was valuable if for no other reason than, well, you have 3 shows in 2 days, so you got to figure out how to have the best match you can have, and also not kill yourself. You've got to pace yourself better. You've got to work a little bit smarter. And I think that's a valuable thing to learn. If you show up in Leipzig, Germany on January 8th, and you've got to work until January 20th in Belgium, I mean, you don't want to put on a bad show, but you can't go out there and have like a total banger on the first night and then you got another show in Berlin the next day. So I think it's kind of a valuable thing to learn how to work. How's that for a shocking statement here as we head to commercial on Wrestling Observer Live? Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, SmackDown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these SmackDown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Waller, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a SmackDown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I could tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe you'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch SmackDown unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Last thing here says, the internet's mad at me for my NXT report. Too bad. Get a life, geeks. Get your own podcast.
Not the first time.
Hey, listen, if you can't deal with criticism for your silly favorite wrestling show, you're going to have a rough time in life because you're going to be dealing with criticism your whole life about all sorts of things. The show sucked, okay? Deal with it. Like, there's been good shows, there have been bad shows. That wasn't a good one, and they got problems. So I'm going to tell you what's happening. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. If you don't like it, like, it's not hard to have a podcast, guys. Like, you get a mic, and then you just talk about whatever you want. Just do it. Tell me what was great about the show. Apparently, I'm supposed to read the comments on the where? Oh, the Observer F4W Twitter replies. I should do a segment every day where I go through what people have to say on.
Oh God, don't.
On Twitter. Just address it here.
No, don't.
Why?
Because then they will just say more and more outrageous things for the sake of attention.
Outrageous things. I don't even know where it is. Did someone put up like a clip of my review? I'll find it later. Send me the link, everybody. I'll address my critics.
At least I'll be over because I argued with you.
Not really. Just about one thing. I don't think it was about the whole show, right?
There was a lot of things I liked more than you.
All right. So, what else do we got here? All right. We're down to the semifinals of the women's AW Women's Tag Team Tournament. We've got Tony and Mina versus Megan Bayne and Marina. And we've got Willow and Harley versus Julia and Sky Blue. And they've got a 4-way tag match on Saturday where the winners get to choose the match stipulation for their semifinal match. I don't like it.
Why is there a stipulation for a qualifying tournament for a tag title?
You want to know why? I'd be happy to tell you.
Stipulations?
It's exactly the same reason that all these NXT geeks are mad at me because I thought the show sucked. Tony doesn't want the criticism of not enough women's matches on the pay-per-view, and so he's put a match together, and it involves 4 female tag teams, and you can't just put a match together. There has to be a reason, and so therefore the reason is the tournament, the winners of this match get to pick a stipulation match for a semifinal match in a tag team title tournament. That's why.
Do the match without the stipulation. Just say it's a chance for all 4 women that'll be in the semifinals.
Well, that's what
Give
they're
them a
doing
chance
there.
to see who they will face in the finals.
I do think it's silly that in the middle of a tag team tournament, we have to have a random stipulation match in one match in the semifinals.
Yeah, the other semifinals a regular match, but one of them is just a stipulation. That's inconsistent and insane.
I think if Megan Bayne and Marina win, the stipulation should be that the only way to win this match is to pin someone other than Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir, who of course are in the match, and therefore they have to win. By the way, I'm actually going to defend AEW booking now because you had a question via text I didn't answer because I want to talk about it here. What was your question about the gauntlet?
Oh, it wasn't a question. It was I speculated why wouldn't
that's a question.
The Hurt Syndicate just flip a coin and one of them can take a dive, and the Hurt Syndicate are the new and first national champion. Why wait for other people to get involved and potentially have them lose? Just win and then give the other guy a title shot later.
This is an excellent question because in theory, like everyone who doesn't think is just excited that Bobby Lashley and Shelton may have to wrestle each other. But if you think,
they don't may.
The
they
actual
are.
No.
They're 1 and 2.
Exactly, but they get in the ring and Shelton lays down for Bobby and Bobby's the national champion. There's no rule saying that they can't do that. It's a gauntlet match. They're the first 2 in the ring.
Well, that's what I'm suggesting.
Well, I'm going to defend this, okay? Because there is a way to solve this problem. All right? So, per the rules of the gauntlet, the rules are that 2 people start and a new person enters at a random interval chosen by Tony Khan, okay?
You're dumb.
So, no, I'm not dumb.
Yes, you are.
No.
You're missing the point.
No, I'm not.
Tell you in a second. Yep, go ahead.
So what happens is the first man comes out as Bobby Lashley. The second man comes out as Shelton Benjamin. And the moment they ring that bell, Tony just sends a third guy out to make sure this doesn't happen.
One of them
That's
can
the easy
submit
way to
before
do
the
it.
guy gets to the ring. You don't need a 3 count.
No,
One
you
of
got to
them
put a
just has
hold
go,
on
I quit, and it's over.
You can't quit like that. You
Yes,
got to
you
put a
can.
hold on a guy.
Well, you could literally stand an inch away from each other. As soon as the bell rings, one guy touches him, and he says, I submit.
Well, they
And
better
no one
get
is
that
getting in.
third guy to the ring immediately. They got to get a sprinter as number 3.
It's the logic flaw in all of these stupid tag matches where they try to pin their partner and someone makes the save before the 3 count. It's like, just tie up and say, I submit.
Yeah,
At any point in time in a multi-person match, you can just grab his hand and he can go, I quit. And you don't have to try this pinning bullshit. And sorry, Sorry, Dom.
Add Lance to the list, Dom.
Don't have
Every
to deal
time you guys do it, I look even better.
Don't have to deal with any of this stuff. The finger poke of doom stuff is dumb. Having people in this situation, I don't agree with. But I'm assuming they will wrestle. It'll be cool because Shelton and Bobby are awesome. But
Well, sure, but then it makes no sense because why didn't
there
one of
is
you
a
lay down for
logic
the
flaw
other?
of they could get a title in this Hurt Syndicate for sure without having to deal with any gauntlet people.
Yes. All right. That cash will go in the swear jar, Lance. All right. What else do we have here? There's a World Tag League going on, which is not the Super Junior Tag League, which did not have rave reviews here. But Jeremy Finestone, speaking of strong styles, got the World Tag League Night 1 update. He says, after the fun first night of action in the A block, better than Super Junior Tag League already, he says. We got the first points on the board. Toru Yano and Bolton Oleg beat Desperado and Shuji Ishikawa after Yano rolled up both guys at once after a low blow. Excellent finish. And then Evil and Don Fale beat Yujiro and Chase Owens. Evil made Yujiro tap to the sharpshooter. This was a classic, if you want to use that term, House of Torture match. The gimmick was Chase Owens couldn't remember whose team he was on. Then we've got Taichi and Satoshi Kojima beating Goto and Yoshihashi. Taichi at Black Mephisto on Yoshihashi was a good match. And the main event was apparently excellent. Drilla Maloney and Shingo beat Gabe Kidd and Yoda Tsuji when Gabe and Drilla hit Kidd with a double made in Japan. So Yo did a sit-in at the beginning, demanding a never open-weight six-man title match at Wrestle Kingdom. Possible way to get the gauntlet match back on Wrestle Kingdom, get a bunch of guys on the show. It's very important to get a bunch of people on the show, as we've learned. Cork and Hall sold out for this show and the night prior. The House of Torture Purge night, which apparently was it was a House of Torture show, apparently was so popular that the sold-out crowd demanded Evil come out for a curtain call at the end of the show. So apparently this was much more successful than that NWO pay-per-view, which was a calamity. Wrestle Kingdom tickets. And the now open outfield. They've opened up the outfield for the Tokyo Dome because they sold out. And so now the outfield is opening up. Those are going to go on sale in 10 days, November 30th. And then we've got Fantastica Mania with CMLL. They announced that for February 18th through 27th with Mystico, Mascara Dorada, Teton, Atlantis Jr., Templario, Stigma, Ultimo Guerrero, Hechicero, Averno, Soberano Jr., Okamura, and Magnus. And also debuting in Japan from CMLL, Futuro, Valiente Jr., and Iho de Stuka Jr. So that is your New Japan update. Thanks to Jeremy for that. And apparently the World Tag League off to a much better start than that Super Junior Tag League. SmackDown was up a little bit, 0.27 in 18-49. It's the best the show has done since October 24th. Second for the night on cable. At this point, when you're looking at, because of everything that's changed with the ratings, at this point, really what you need to look at is where are these shows finishing? Because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what SmackDown, Collision, Dynamite do. If they're regularly finishing in the top 5, things are good. If they're dropping out of the top 5, dropping out of the top 10, that's not good. As Dave was talking about on Observer Radio today, these Collision numbers, 219,000 and a 0.03 sucks. Number's terrible. And for the amount they're paying AEW, that's kind of a disaster, actually. And for Dynamite, I mean, Big Bang Theory, I think it is doing much better than Dynamite at this point. And, when you've got a old rerun that is doing better than first-run live programming, also not good. So you kind of got to see where everything is finishing in the top 10 to determine how things are doing. This Collision viewership, second lowest since September 20th. The 18-49 is down 50%, tying the lowest number the show has ever done So not good for Collision.
Is Collision on HBO Max as well, or just Dynamite?
They're both on HBO Max.
Okay.
But we have no idea what that, like, what does that mean?
Means
We don't know.
The number's slightly higher, but who knows?
Yes. All right, back in a moment, we'll talk about this long Dynamite show, Wrestling Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
Happy birthday, dear Granny.
Happy birthday, Granny. Happy 95th birthday.
Thank you.
You got balloons behind you as well, Vinny. People can't really see them.
No.
They think it might just be your hump. But it's a very festive
I
day
should not
today.
laugh at that. That's a horrible insult that you just gave
Yeah,
me.
you laughed. It was a good one.
But it was funny.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Happy birthday, Granny!
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I don't even know what you just said. Okay, go.
Bye, girls. Close the door, please. Rob Wanska, a top fan. That granny is one of a kind. If you cannot see that, you're blind. Whether she's knitting a quilt or giving Brian some guilt, she's the greatest old gal that you'll find.
Was that, who was that?
Producer
That was
Rob.
Rob.
Producer Rob?
Yeah.
Fine
like
job,
that.
Rob.
He has talent?
Thank you,
Great.
Rob.
Wow.
This is Mariah May versus Anna J. Anna has a problem. Her top seems to want to drop down. She has to keep pulling it up. Mariah pins Anna for the win. I think Anna just gave up due to the fact that her wardrobe was malfunctioned.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if they wore decent clothes, it'd be better. Those T-straps are ridiculous.
Those what?
T-straps. Don't you know what a T-strap
No,
is?
I do not know what a T-strap
I don't think
is.
there's a T-strap in Brian's closet, Granny.
No.
I don't know.
T-strap. Oh, a thong? Why don't you say a thong?
A what?
Never mind. You don't know what a thong is?
No.
Why are we having this conversation?
What part of the body is it on?
Does it go on the
woman.
top or the bottom?
On your
Butt?
butt. Yep.
Okay.
Granny had to be very careful. So it's a thong.
Why are we having this conversation?
According to the Old Testament of the Bible, who is the father of both Isaac and Ishmael?
Job.
Abraham.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Abraham.
I just.
Did you say that?
Yes, he
I'm so-
did.
Yeah. I
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear you.
Well, Granny, I hope you had a happy birthday today.
I had to.
Hey, we got a special present for you. You are officially being inducted, yes, into the Hall of Awesome.
It's about time.
Yes. You know what that is,
Oh,
Granny?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want everybody to see this. How can I show it?
Clearly, Granny is really excited about being inducted into the Hall of Awesome. She's busy showing off her trophy.
Is that an old gray mare trophy?
It's got a horse on it for some reason. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live, Lance Storm. Oh, here's the commentary. The chase. The people are angry that I'm talking about how they don't put the title on any title, any win at all on Javon. So guy goes, the chase is always more exciting than the actual title reign. Is that right? That's actually not right. It says longtime wrestling fans should already know this. There are many title reigns that are significantly better than the chase.
Hogan, Bruno.
Cody. I mean, we could go on and on.
Well, Cody's chase was really good.
This guy goes, the guys who hate everything WWE and love everything AEW didn't like something in WWE. I'm shocked. So that guy's not a listener. I hate everything in WWE and love everything in AEW. Maybe listen to one show, brother. This person says, if Javon was in AEW, he'd already have a title. Well, he would by process of elimination. I mean, everyone's had a title. So I don't really take issue with how they're handling Javon, but the Tatum loss was just bad. Oh, well, see, there's another one. First says the show was good. No, it wasn't. Javon's moveset won't let him last 5 years. Oh, is that right? Yeah, tell that to AJ Styles. Let's see. Talking crap for the sake of it. NXT was so awesome, and he puts fire next to it. He puts a fire emoji. Yeah.
Hey, it's subjective. People like different things.
Yeah, he put a fire emoji. Thought that was kind of hot. All right. Well, anyway, I don't care. So let's talk about Dynamite here. Dynamite, good show for 2 hours, and then it just got too long, like usual. So, yes, Lashley and Ricochet was like almost a squash. Lashley killed him in like 2 minutes. There was like 5-minute match, 3 minutes was talking, and then he killed him in a 2-minute match. And so at this point, either, I don't think Lashley's winning the national title because I don't think he's going to like GCW to defend it. But I do think that they're probably setting him up for a world title shot against Hangman, probably coming up pretty soon. He's just too dominant. Then we had Joe and Shibata promo for later. Young Bucks interview where Don Callis is telling him, go out and be great tonight, and then we will tell the world that you are joining the Don Callis family. They do not like this idea.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
They're very quiet. Then we have the Young Bucks and Alexander versus Top Flight and Scorpio Sky. So Bucks and Alexander. Alexander's in the Don Callis family, and they're having issues the entire match. Alexander, he's stealing hot tags. He stole the finish from them after they hit their move. Bucks worked as total babyfaces in this match. And then Don tries to get them to join the family, and they won't give an answer. And finally, he threatens them. He basically says, I don't want what happened to Kenny Omega to happen to you guys. And so Kenny's music hits. He runs down, and he's killing Josh Alexander. So the Bucks, they don't attack Kenny, but they just kind of pull him off. Kenny starts yelling at him, and this allows Alexander to chop block him, put him in the ankle lock, and the Bucks end up, they're all conflicted, and Don tells them, hit him with that BTE trigger. And so they're kind of hesitantly setting him up, and out come Jack Perry and Luchasaurus to make the save. And by the way, Jack had a snow shovel, Luchasaurus had a vacuum cleaner.
What?
Yeah, that's how they ran him off. And then Josh ends up hugging the Bucks outside, who do not hug him back. And so I kind of like, it's one of those stories where, we think we know what's going on with the Bucks, but we don't. We think they don't want to join the Don Callis family. We think that they kind of are feeling sympathy for Kenny Omega, but we don't actually know. And you could really go either way, and it would work out. So they've got a 6-man coming up on Saturday, where we'll find out more of this story. I thought this was a good angle. Very simple. Then we had Shelton and Speedball. We talked about the finish of this match. What we didn't talk about is this MVP, man. Like, he's a great talker, but oh my God, he buried Speedball 6 feet under this entire match. All he did was talk about how much he sucked. It's like, not, hey, this guy is good at Taekwondo. It was just like, Taekwondo black belt's never going to beat an All-American. His armbar sucks. That armbar's never going to work. He's like Gorilla Monsoon. Bryan Danielson, who also trains, he's like, how about that armbar? That one's better. MVP's like, nah. Sucks. So he's just burying him and burying him and burying him and burying him. And Shelton's beating him and beating him and beating him and beating him. And I'm like, okay, I guess Speedball's getting a win. Because Shelton will do a job, He's not... And then Shelton beats him. I was like, wow. Sucks to be Mike Bailey. That poor guy. Buried 6 feet under on commentary and beaten in the middle of the ring. Can't have a worse day than this poor guy had. And they screwed up the finish.
That was one thing Jim Ross was always great at. Because speaking from experience, is like he would always manage to bury me because I was a heel with my personality and putting over how much of a despicable human being I was, but he always got in the positives and gave me credibility. And it's finding
there were
that
no
balance.
positives for Speedball. None.
Well,
Not even he's a handsome young man. He was just buried. Commentary. To the point where the other commentators are trying to find some way. They're like begging MVP to say one nice thing about this guy, and he just buries him. Then the guy loses. Moxley and Claudio versus Orange and Roderick Strong. So, the best thing about this Moxley thing is now anytime anybody puts him in a submission hold, the frickin' place goes wild. Roderick Strong puts him in a strong hold, and this crowd starts screaming like they think John Moxley's going to quit. And he, of course, gets saved. And then finally, Claudio hits Orange with a pop-up uppercut. Moxley puts him in the Bulldog headlock, wins. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes out. He puts Moxley in the ankle lock. Moxley's furiously tapping. His buddies try to break it up, but conglomeration, gets him out of there. Moxley's suffering. And finally, the heels pull him to safely. Moxley can't even walk, can't put weight on his foot, selling it like crazy. And then Kyle demands a no-holds-barred fight at Full Gear. And the fans are chanting, "You tapped out." They're going nuts for this. It's like, I presume, I think Kyle should beat him. Are we going with Kyle or not? I mean, you shouldn't have a meaningless submission win over John Moxley in blood and guts just to give Moxley his win back. But even if Moxley does win, I mean, it's actually pretty incredible to see how over this feud is with this crowd. They are so into Kyle versus John Moxley. Kyle O'Reilly, the guy that does, conglomeration goofiness backstage, and you couldn't even take him seriously, a month ago. Now, it's like they see him as a big deal. So that's good. Then we had Tony and Mina versus Alex Windsor and Riho, quarterfinal match for the women's tag title tournament. This is where, all of a sudden, this crowd they got tired. I mean, they were going wild for the previous match. And then this match starts, and they're just kind of watching it. And there would be a spot they'd pop for, and then they get quiet. Then there was a spot they'd pop for, and then they get quiet. They were not really all that into the match. And Tony ended up hitting Alex with Storm Zero and got the pin. They move on in the tournament. Then we had kind of a weird segment. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe do a face-to-face, which I feel like we've seen on 4 shows so far. And they've agreed to no physicality. So Mark cuts his big promo about how he's going to win. And then he gets jumped by Hechicero and Okada because they're not part of the no physicality clause. It was just Kyle and Mark. And they beat him down. And then Don says, "We're going to make your kids orphans." And I was like,
that's a bit much.
Well, it is, because the stipulation, for those of you that don't remember, Mark wanted another match with Kyle. Don Callis keeps going, "No, it's not going to happen." Kyle wants the match. And so finally Don says, "You know what? I'll do it, but you gotta offer me something, Mark." And Mark offered to put his career on the line. But then Don said, "No, I like you as a wrestler. And what I would really like is if you join the Don Callis family." So that's the stip. If Mark wins, he wins the title. If he loses, he joins the Don Callis family. So it was very odd that on this show, Don threatens to make his kids orphans. They're going to kill him. So that was kind of weird.
Technically, he'd have to kill Mom, too, right?
I guess that's true, yeah.
That's a bit much.
That is actually a bit much. I would agree. Pac did a promo with the Darby Allin match. The storyline is Pac wants legitimate competition. Nobody at ringside. No gimmicks, no tables, tasers, whatever. I want a wrestling match. Because, he says, there is no way that someone like you can compete on the same level as an incredible athlete like me. So they're having a wrestling match. We had Shabbat and Hangman, which also didn't have much heat. And I think the problem is no one thinks Shabbat has beaten the world champion. And they had a long match. And it just kept going, and the crowd's dead. And finally, Hangman hits the buckshot and gets the pin. And then he takes the mic afterwards, and he threatens to take out Samoa Joe in the cage match at Full Gear. We had Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir versus Ty J in another tournament match, and man, the crowd was dead for this match. And wasn't all that good. It was kind of below the AW women's standards at this point. No heat, and ended up with Marina submitting Anna Jay. So they move on in the tournament, and also to the four-way at the pay-per-view. One of the best things on the show was the Bang Bang Gang hyping up the $200,000 tag match on the pre-show. You got to watch this just to see, like, Juice Robinson came back, and he did a promo about how he just wanted to be a serious main eventer or whatever. And, like, he shaved his beard, and he cut his hair, and he was just normal. And, like, nobody cared. And I think he very quickly figured this out because he is out of his mind in this promo. And it is incredible. So he's going to get himself over being insane.
He's a straight-up wacky dude for real.
Oh, yeah. And he was all in here. Then we had Massacre Dorado Okada. This match was, it had its moments, and it had its moments the opposite way. The top rope was all loose. Dorada is, like, botching spots left and right. Okada is also, like, he's not there for him as a base the way he should be. But, I mean, every time they did something really awesome, the place went nuts. And finally, at the end, Okada is on the top rope. Dorada goes for a top rope Frankensteiner, and Okada powerbombs him from the tippy top rope, and he freaking almost killed this guy. Every announcer freaked out, including Don Callis. They all thought this guy was dead. But he got up, and then Okada hit the Rainmaker. And so at the pay-per-view, it is... I guess it'll now be Dorada defending the CMLL Trios titles with Mystico and Neon versus Okada, Hechicero, and Takeshita. And Okada does not want to team with Takeshita. So
we've got a third set of Trios titles?
Yep. Another set of belts. Talk about the main event after the break. Observer Live. Granny, what's happening? What do we got for the wrestling report here today?
Talk or something.
Talk or something.
So Niven comes in, jumps on Bailey with her overweight body a couple of times, doesn't mind playing dirty, leaves Bailey on the mat in lots of pain. I found this book. It's called Limericks from the Heart.
Is this a Lanny Poffo book?
Let me finish this one. This guy's name is Lanny Poffo. And there are 335 pages in here. Can you guess what it's about?
Smoking.
Oh,
Sean's the wizard.
Have you read it?
We read it every week for about 6 months.
When I first started.
Wow.
Why don't we start reading some questions, and we'll see if we can spur some answers out of Granny. Shall we try?
I don't think so.
Let's try.
Then you'll really find out how dumb I am.
Granny, did you know there was a wrestling bear?
No, and I don't care.
All right.
It's a bear that wrestled people.
I still don't care.
Okay.
Is Granny frozen?
Granny, you frozen?
No, I'm ready to read my report.
Your picture is frozen.
It is?
Yeah. Or you're doing a great job as a ventriloquist.
Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, or whatever his last name is. Paul Newman is watching this match. And he's not on Cody's side. What's the matter?
Absolutely nothing. Everything's great.
You know, Cody did say that he was looking for a manager. I think him and Paul Newman would be a...
What a handsome pair.
Yeah. A dashing duo.
That guy's a movie star, isn't he?
Since you're on the phone, why don't we just jump right into your wrestling report and such, and then we'll let you go and we'll do Facebook without you.
Can I lay the phone down and can you hear me?
You can try. Why don't you give it a shot?
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a disaster. I can already tell.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. That's all right, I guess.
Go ahead.
No, it's your segment. You're gonna read
Read us jokes.
or your wrestling report or whatever. I see Granny has now put the phone back up to her ear.
I'm just, for now.
Do you have the soaps or anything else, Granny, or is that it?
I want to quit for now.
Okay. Well,
No more.
instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Main event of the show was Mercedes and Red Velvet in the unification match for the Ring of Honor Women's Television title, and Mercedes won, obviously. And this was Red Velvet's first match back since suffering an injury, and they just threw her out in a long main event, and she was not ready to go out for a long main event. It was rough. Mercedes ended up getting the win, and then she attacked Statlander and put her in the bank statement afterwards. So, show was just too long. 3 hours is too long for anybody, not just AEW. And you could see it from the crowd. It's not just me. This crowd was dead after the first 2 hours. So anyway, yeah.
11 o'clock is late for a Wednesday.
11 o'clock. And it was actually, even though it was a 3-hour show, they still had an overrun. They went like 3 hours and 10 minutes. Like, oh my God. You didn't have enough time in 3 hours to get the show done? No, we had to have an overrun. But anyway, we'll talk about the card tomorrow for the Full Gear show. Full Gear is going to be Dave and Garrett on Saturday night. I will be up on Sunday night with Vinny to recap the show. I actually will not be home Saturday. Tom and I are going to be at Pinnacle 2 in Spokane, Washington, Northern Quest Resort and Casino. It's their biggest show ever. They've apparently shattered all of their previous records. And there's a ton of people on the show, including, yes, straight off Monday Night Raw, Dolph Ziggler is going to be on the show.
Well, Nick Nemeth will be.
Nick Nemeth is on the show. That's right. Carlito is on the show. And just a ton of names. I tweeted it out here if you want to hit up there and check it out. Pinnacle 2, November 22nd, Northern Quest Resort and Casino in Spokane. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come say hi to Tom and I. And we're going to wrap it up for today. That's it. I'll be back later on tonight, AWNXT with Vinny. Be ready for an hour and a half of fury. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.